Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rukakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And all praises and honor and glory is definitely due to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, especially in the times we're living in. If you're paying attention, you'll see that we're almost out of here, man. And Esau almost out of here, okay? I mean, straight up. I mean, we just there, man. And things are getting ready to pop off. 2026 has been a very, very interesting year, and it's going to be even more interesting moving forward. Okay, going into July, it's going to be very much more interesting. So, before I begin this lesson, let me get this scripture in Matthew chapter 24, and then I want to open up with a video from the elder Malcolm, and I'm gonna let that brother speak and pretty much add to it, but I'm gonna start right here in Matthew chapter 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many, as we are seeing that. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Now, two things about that particular verse. When it says wars and rumors of wars, don't get it twisted. Where it says rumors of wars, don't mean the wars are not going to happen. That's why it says wars first. Okay? And you're hearing about wars. That's like the main talk, the everyday talk is war. Amongst other prophecies that's happening. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's concerned about this war with Iran, you know, and Israel, and the war with Russia and Ukraine. You know, I mean, it's a whole lot of war going on in the earth right now. Okay, don't get it twisted. These are signs that the end is coming. And when it says the end is not yet, again, don't get it twisted. Don't be naive. Okay, it's saying that these things have to happen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to that. Okay. That's why it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these things just have to happen before the end comes. Salakia. Okay. And just like you heard about a ceasefire, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it gets worse. It only gets worse. After every time they supposedly come up with a peace deal or a ceasefire arrangement, you know, immediately, you know, it upscales, you know what I mean? You know, for lack of better words, you know, it gets worse, you know? It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And now we just witnessed, you know, if you've been paying attention, that 2 earthquakes back to back in Venezuela. Okay. And there was one in California. And one, I think, in Japan or somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you can just go on Google and look at how many earthquakes there have been in this year alone. You know, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay, and this is basically speaking of brothers and sisters, especially in Babylon the Great, because Babylon the Great is that great melting pot. You know what I'm saying? It's very diverse. Okay, and there are people from all nations here in Babylon the Great, and they're gonna hate us because our word speaks against them. You know, beginning with Esau, Edom. Okay. It says that many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Oh, just wait, I got videos for you. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. Once again, we're seeing that. We're seeing people call us doomsday prophets. They're saying that we got 1,000 years left, you know, or between now and another 1,000 years. No, man. You ain't even, I don't to myself, because nobody knows the day. I don't see another 5, just speaking as a man. You know, I don't see another 3, speaking as a man. You know, looking at measuring the time diligently, as the scriptures say. Matter of fact, let me get that, because this is what we're doing. You know, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, we're measuring the time diligently. 2nd Ezra 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen once again earthquakes and uproars of the people, oh man, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. As like all that is made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, in wonder and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. Okay, and we're seeing the signs, man. We're seeing the signs. Now I'm gonna go to this video. This brother is playing a video about from Colonel Douglas McGregor. I'm gonna start it over. I'm gonna get a few parts of the video and just add to it. But give me a second here.
Shalom.
So I'm gonna skip right now. I'm gonna skip right now to like the 9-minute mark. I want to let this Edomite speak, and he's well known. He's a former military
years, and 1,000 years is 1 day. So 1,000 years to us is only 1 day to the Lord. So this has been moving along very quickly. It really has. So without any further ado, Colonel Douglas McGregor.
Let me be straight with you right now. Something just happened that the major networks are still trying to figure out how to frame for you. They're sitting in their studios right now, waiting for a talking point, waiting for someone in Washington to tell them what to say. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what I know, what it means, and why it matters right now, before the spin machine gets going. Iran has fired ballistic missiles at Tel Aviv. Let that land for a second. Not a proxy. Not Hezbollah lobbing rockets from southern Lebanon. Not a drone swarm from Yemen. Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, launched ballistic missiles directly at the city of Tel Aviv. That is a threshold event. That is a line that has now been crossed, and there is no uncrossing it. I want you to understand something before we go any further. What you're watching right now is not an episode of this conflict. This This is not another exchange of fire that gets forgotten in a week. What happened in the last several hours is the kind of moment historians write about. The kind of moment that when you look back on it 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you say that was when everything changed.
And that history will be forgotten because Babylon will.
And I want to say we're going to remember, and I kind of feel like, again, I'm speaking as a man, brother's point was a little bit different, but I believe these damn Edomites going to remember everything that they did. And they're going to know why they're in fucking captivity. They're going to know why they're going through what they're going through when we're in the kingdom. And when we got the upper hand. Okay, so, and that's, once again, I'm speaking as a man, not going against what the brother's saying. Okay, but continuing on.
Will be destroyed. Edom is going to a slavery for 1,000 years. And at the end of that 1,000 years, the Edomites will be erased from the earth. So it really won't be remembered, not by them. All right, and it is a turning.
Okay, and that's a good point. That makes sense. Okay, because, they won't be here to remember it after that 1,000-year period. Because they're going to serve 1,000 years of slavery and then be eradicated from the earth. You know what I mean? Now, that's why I brought out Matthew 24, you know what I'm saying, because it says, and this time, let me go back to it, Matthew 24, and I was, not 14, 24, and it was verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, now understand that how close we are to the end. Okay, we have to understand these things. This video might be pretty lengthy, but we just roll in the spirit. Okay. Ballistic. Let's see how powerful is it? What's the difference in a ballistic missile and a nuclear missile? Let me see if it let me speak it. No, it won't. So try it again. Let me type it. There it go, a ballistic missile. It says a ballistic missile describes a missile's flight path and delivery method, while a nuclear missile refers to specifically to the type of warhead it carries. They are not mutually exclusive. Ballistic missiles are frequently used to deliver nuclear warheads. I think that's enough. Ballistic missiles are frequently used to deliver nuclear warheads. Okay, so that shows you how close we are. Because we always say this war, World War III is not going to go nuclear, full nuclear, until, that MOTP, that microchip is made mandatory. Okay? If somebody's already using nuclear warheads, nuclear missiles, ballistic missiles, we there, and you gotta know that chip is right around the corner. Okay? So, it ain't no time to play games. It just, we here, man. We here. And call the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh once again for proving your word to be faithful and true. I'm going to skip here to the 19-minute mark. Let this man, 18, 19 minutes, let him speak a little bit more. We'll start right there.
Happened to the Edomites. Okay, not on that scale. Oh, slavery happened, everyone. Shut up, man. All right? And no slavery happened to a people where their complete heritage was erased and they were just held there for half of a century, more than half of a century, and mistreated the whole time and built up that society for free and then labeled the problem in that society. When they were no longer, working completely for free, they were all of a sudden they became the problem. So anyway, let's go to the 17th minute mark of this video, and that's right about. And the name of this video, well, you can see it's as Douglas McGregor. A new phase of conflict has begun. All right, a new phase of conflict has begun. Douglas McGregor - a new phase of conflict has begun.
So listen up.
So here we go.
Will be decisive. If the hawkish elements carry the day, and there are very hawkish elements in the current Israeli government, you could see strikes on Iranian territory within hours. If the more cautious voices prevail, you might see a delay, a period of intensive diplomatic activity, possibly pressure from Washington to hold back.
That's
Watch the
happening
Strait
right
of
now.
Hormuz. This is the choke point. Roughly 20% of the world's oil passes through that narrow waterway. If Iran makes any move toward threatening that strait, mining operations, naval harassment, anything that signals they're prepared to weaponize it, you will see a global economic response almost immediately. Oil markets will spike. Governments around the world will be forced to act, and the United States will face a decision about whether to intervene militarily to keep the strait open.
Which they will not be able to. Only thing that this can lead to is war. America's going to have put ground forces on the ground, and that's written in the scriptures. And it's written in the scriptures that when they...
And so let me make this point. When they have to put forces on the ground, when they have to put troops on the ground, as America, a lot of... Look here, man. That military draft is coming as well. Okay? Keep that in mind. Hey, understand that they gonna need as many troops as they can, and America has already lost a lot of troops in this war. America has lost this war so far, and they're not gonna come back and win it. Okay, so they're losing troops. So understand, they will do that draft, and they talking about December. Okay, there's plenty of videos done on that there. So, hey, keep your eyes open. Okay, keep your head on the swivel.
do so, they all die. That's what's written. This is war.
It's a decision about whether to intervene militarily to keep the strait open.
Which they will not be able to. Only thing that this can lead to is war. America's going to have put ground forces on the ground, and that's written in the scriptures. And it's written in the scriptures that when they do so, they all die. That's what's written. Okay, this is Psalms 144, 5 through 8. And it says, "Bow thy heavens, O Yahweh, and come down. Touch the mountains." Mountains meaning large governments. All right? "And they shall smoke. Cast forth lightning, scatter them. Shoot out thine arrows and destroy them." The Lord is going to take control of these intercontinental ballistic arrows and send them where he wants to. You've seen the videos of how the UFOs, so-called, come down and turn them on and turn them off and take control of them. Well, those UFOs are the chariots of Israel. Those are the Lord's vehicles. You can't fight them. There's nothing you can do. And like he said, he created the smith to create the waster. He put Esau, he put you in a trick bag. He had you create your own weapon. He had you create your own gallows, the same as he did to Haman in the ancient world. Haman built gallows with the intention on hanging Israelites, and he and his family end up hung on those very gallows. The same thing is happening now. All right?
Con, and you know, that's pretty much all I'm gonna get on this video. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we see the prophecies moving. This war is not gonna stop, man. They can talk about a ceasefire all they want to. It might slow down a little bit, ease up a little bit, but that's because, as we say, before it goes completely nuclear, and as you see, we're already at that stage. But before it goes completely nuclear, because when it goes completely nuclear, that's when Yahweh Shah returns, and that's when all nations are involved. Okay? And when Yahweh Shah returns, I mean, they have to stop fighting each other to fight Yahweh Shah. Okay? So but that, of course, that microchip has to be implemented first. It has to be made mandatory, because when Yahweh Shah comes, he's coming to save his elect, those who don't take that MOTB from Revelation 13 and 16. But it lets you know, if you're measuring the time diligently, if you're measuring the time diligently, then you know that is in the works. You might not hear as much about it, but you're hearing about it. You know? And they're doing more than what you think they're doing. You know what I'm saying? To get this up off the ground now. So yeah, man. That's why once again we keep our head on the swivel. Now let's go to Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3, and I'm going to start at just verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is Yahweh Shaphat. I think it means the valley of decision, "and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered and put among the nations and parted my lands." Okay, I gotta read verse 3 here with the same highlight. It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." Okay, and this is what they did to us. They took our heritage from us. You know what I'm saying? And they took our not to use the word religion, but they took our beliefs from us. You know, turned us into these so-called Christians. You know what I mean? Muslims, Baptists, Catholics, we all everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And these people gotta pay for that. You know, that's why it's good. But I'm thankful to be in this truth, because there's so many people, so many Israelites that's not. So the water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, you should wake up every morning giving thanks, man. But I had another video I wanted to look at. Let's see if you know what is up here, right here. And just to give it a time.
How long do you think, we have before this could actually hit?
We? You mean how long till it all goes sideways? Honestly, 5 years, tops. Maybe 3 if the Aram thing pops off. Look, the grid's already creaking. 2025 had that test blackout in Texas. Officially maintenance, but 4chan dug up leaked memos saying it was a dry run for cyber ops. And now, China...
That was the same thing happened in 2020. It was a dry run. You know what I'm saying? Just to see how the people would react before they brought out the real thing. Okay, it's the same playbook with Esau Edom, man. It's the same playbook. Okay, but you hear he's talking to Grok, which is like a algorithm. Once again, for lack of better words, it's an algorithm. It's somewhat like Gemini or ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? And hey, it's not lying, because everything it says is scriptural. You know.
It's got quantum decryption tools, Russia's poking holes in NATO nets, and our own DHS just admitted critical infrastructure is 90% vulnerable. No one's fixing it. They're building AI backups instead. For what? To keep the elites online while we starve in the dark? But here's the kicker. They won't announce it. It'll be scheduled maintenance, then unexpected outage, then national emergency. Phones die first. Cell towers need power too. Then ATMs, then gas. If you're not off-grid by 2030...
Let me get a scripture right quick. I'm in Joel 3. Let's go to chapter 2. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. And you see this, we're blowing the trumpet. Then you know. And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh. For it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. As the morning spread from the mountains. A great people and a strong. There hath not been ever like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So we're coming into a time that is like no other. This is Jacob's trouble, man. For all you false prophets that want to say we're not in Jacob's trouble, look what's going on. You're not measuring the time diligently. Okay, you're not being circumspect and watching with everything that's going on to know the times that you're living in. Okay, this is real. It's all happening in real time, man. It's time to wake up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to wake up. What I wanted to get. Let me go back to the video right quick. I'm going to go back a little bit because she said something I wanted to speak on.
Here's the kicker. They won't announce it. It'll be scheduled maintenance, then unexpected outage, then national emergency. Phones die first. Cell towers need power too, then ATMs, then gas. If you're not off-grid by 2030, you're toast. Prep now. Solar charger, hand crank radio, gold coins, not crypto. That'll vanish too. We got maybe 36 months before the first big one. After that, welcome to the new normal.
The big one, the first big one, explain a day, that day. How's that day gonna go for your average person?
That day, picture this. You wake up, phone's dead. No signal, no alarm. Lights flicker out mid-shower. Fridge hums silent. Outside, traffic's jammed because signals are dark. Cars...
Right quick, because she mentioned like 3 years from now. And she mentioned 2030, because we're going into 2027. We, 5 months into this year? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We're going into the 7th month of this year. Okay? Just that quick. You know what I'm saying? So back to Matthew chapter 24. Okay? And I think it's verse 22. Let me see. Yeah, Matthew 24. It says, For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. We just read that in Joel. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. but for the elect's sake, those days shall be short and certain. They can give you a 2030 agenda. And hey, I mean, we see the Lord making time go by fast, so it might be 2030. Either way, the days are being shortened, and it's going to go by quickly. It's going to be 2030 in 1 year. At least that's what it's going to seem like. And not only that, hell, it also means that this can happen any time, because the days are being shortened. The Lord is speeding up the time. And as long as the Lord is speeding up the time, this devil has to speed up his time clock. Okay? That's why they moving like they're moving. Okay? Because they know that their time is running out. Because the Lord is forcing his hand. Revelation chapter 12. And we always get this. And we're going to continue. Revelation 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. He knows this time is short. They can give you a 2030 agenda. I don't see it, honestly. You know, but he knows this time is short, so he's finna do all these things. Okay? And the Lord is putting the Spirit on them to do all these things. He's going to bring about his own end.
Fridge hums silent. Outside, traffic's jammed because signals are dark. Cars stalled at intersections.
Rewind it a little bit. Let you hear what she's saying.
That'll vanish too. We got maybe 36 months before the first big one. After that, welcome to the new normal.
The big one, the first big one, explain a day, that day. How's that day going to go for your average person?
That day, picture this. You wake up, phone's dead, no signal, no alarm. Lights flicker out mid-shower. Fridge hums silent. Outside, traffic's jammed because signals are dark. Cars stalled at intersections, horns blaring. Gas stations? Pumps won't work without power. ATMs? Brick. Banks offline. Your Tesla's app? Useless. Battery's fine, but no charging network, no maps. You step out. Neighbors yelling, what the hell? Stores shutter fast. Cash registers down. Credit cards worthless. People hoard bread. Water lines snake around blocks cause pumps fail. Hospitals switch to generators, but meds run low quick. Riots? Not day one. More like panic buying. Fights over the last cans. Cops are stretched thin. No dispatch. No radios. By noon, word spreads. Cyber hit. China or Russia. Maybe both. News? Only battery radios crackle static. You realize, no Uber, no DoorDash, no Netflix. Just you, darkness, and whatever's in your pantry. First 24 hours, shock. Then hunger. Then fear. If it lasts weeks, welcome to survival mode.
And we've read about uproars of the people. You know, let's get 2 Ezra chapter 16. And I'm going to go down to, you know what? Matter of fact, we read it in 2 Ezra chapter 9. And then I'm going to go to 2 Ezra chapter 16. But it says right here, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. That's what the Grok is speaking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot coming down the pipe, man. It's a lot coming down the pipe. And you got to prepare yourselves for it. That's why the scripture is titled, not the scripture, the video is titled, Get Your House in Order. Time is short. Time is truly short.
Fear. If it lasts weeks, welcome to survival mode. That's why I say prep, because average Joe's gonna wake up and realize the system's a house of cards.
Yeah, and we don't I mean, we got common sense. So if we got the means of buying a little extra food, things that are, non-perishable items, things that you don't have to cook, because you're not going to be able to cook during a power outage. You know what I'm saying? And they going to crash everything, the internet, all this. It has to be crashed in order for them to bring in their new system. So if you got means of getting a few things, be smart about what you get, okay? And get things that's not, once again, not perishable. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, we depend on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, because, hey, you might stock up on a bunch of stuff, but that'll be for your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Is that 2nd Ezra 16 or 15? You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, everybody's going to be looking for food. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be looking for food. You know what? I'm going to get this 2nd Ezra 15, because we're speaking about Iran. Okay? This war in Iran. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia. I know I'm kind of out of place right there. But it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and with multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And the Carmanians raging in wrath, and the Carmanians is speaking of the Iran. Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay? And you just seen they hit Tel Aviv. You know what I'm saying? More than likely leveled that motherfucker. So once again, we're seeing the prophecies happening. We are here. Soon enough, you're not going to be able to say these are rumors of wars. That's why I made that point earlier. Right now, it's just rumors of wars, because World War III has not popped off completely yet. And it's not going to pop off completely yet. But you see how close we are. Okay? And these Carmenians, your Iranians, they ain't playing no games, man. The dragons of Arabia. This is when all these so-called Muslim nations, you know what I'm saying, they gonna come together. They gonna come together. They tired of Esau fucking with them. They tired of Amalek fucking with them. And excuse my French, but hey, we just in that time, and I'm just that passionate, you know. But what I wanted to get was gonna be 2nd Ezra 16. I want to get that top first, but before that, I wanted to get another one. I'm gonna start at 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. For all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful from the scourges. Yeah, because our people just hard-headed, you know. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, great confusion. Everybody's sitting here talking about 20. Everybody said it. I know a lot of people that said it. I'll put it like that. 2026 is gonna be my year. You know, you thought things was okay when gas prices was going down, and they went right back up. Okay, and see, we're not in great confusion, because we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the stability of our times, and gonna be the stability of our times. It says, for many of them that dwell on the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay? That's all I'm going to get in that. I'm going to let that video finish, and then I'm going to get another one and come back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16, but I'll finish that video. So I want this other video, and I'm going to come back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16.
I got a dream this morning, and it was quick, but it was enough for me to understand what the Lord was showing me. So I'm in this dream. I'm in the middle of this street. The Lord shows me. It's around nighttime, so I'm trying to paint a scenery for you guys. It was around nighttime. People were, just heading out of this store, and they were just walking around. And the Lord shows me missiles starting to come out of the sky. I'm seeing missiles hit, and you can hear the rebound and the recoil of the missiles into the ground, and then it shook through the earth. And it was one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And these were attacks on America, right? I'm telling you this dream that I'm having. And the things that I was being shown in the dream, it was like boom, 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 right? And so then after that, as I'm busy looking, I see people start freaking out. It's hitting people's cars. And the car alarms, they start going off, boop, 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 boop. And then people are running to their cars. I'm busy watching people from the right side of the street on this highway. They're starting to get in their cars. They're busy grabbing their children, putting them in cars, and and they're trying to drive off and try to get to safety. They tried to get to safety, but it was too late. Like, the missiles, they were coming one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, like it was non-stop with these missiles that were just coming. And it was like, they looked as if, and the main reason why I'm using the word missile is because it looks like a shooting star, but it was orange, and it came in so fast, like lightning, boom, boom, immediately.
So let me go back to 2nd Ezra 16 and start at the top here. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." These are all code words for America. "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. The sword is sent upon ye, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is that? What is he that may drive them away?" Jumping down to verse 13, it says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that shooteth are sharp." Okay, this is talking about these ICBM missiles, nuclear missiles. Okay. It says, "and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, return it not backward. Even so the plagues shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay? And so we're in that time where the plagues are being sent. And these missiles are going to finally hit Babylon the Great. Because Babylon ain't used to being hit. That's why it's called the Virgin. Well, it's called, I can't think of the word. But you know what? Let me get Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38 and let me see. Okay, Ezekiel 38 and 11, and it says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages." Okay, this is speaking of America. "I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely." Okay, and all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates. Okay, so Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing the smoke to Babylon the Great, man. He's bringing the smoke to Babylon the Great. This is why it's important for you Israelites to get your house in order. Repent. Okay? Because this Babylon the Great going down is the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. And July 4th marks 250 years. And you can look it up. The average empire only lasts 250 years. Okay? Around that amount of time. Matter of fact, let's just do it. Okay. Historians estimate the average lifespan of an empire to be roughly 220 to 250 years. Okay? So look here, we're entering 250 years. Okay? We're entering 250 years of America. This place is going down. It's over with, man. It's over with. You know? But I'm going to end it right here. Let me get Isaiah 41. I believe it's Isaiah 41 and 14. Because I know that 144. Isaiah 41 and 14, it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff." So the Lord is going to come fight for us. He's going to give us the power that we need to fight against these Edomites, because we don't have that power. Okay, the power that they have, they were blessed with. The Lord is going to give us something much better. Okay, straight up. And speaking of that, let's go to the book of Zephaniah, Salakia. Zephaniah chapter 3 and 8, I believe. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. He says, "Yes, therefore wait ye upon me, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." Okay, so we waiting upon the Lord. Okay. And if you of the elect, you know the Lord gonna defend you. But so this is why we put on therefore of the elect. Nobody knows that they're of that number, but we put on that of the elect, and the Lord will defend us. Okay, we wait on the Lord until He comes, regardless of what you're going through. But I'm gonna end it right there. Lord will, you brothers and sisters will edify. Once again, keep your head on the swivel. Stay circumspect. Okay. We are in these times. Okay? Prophecies are speaking loudly. Okay? So, hey, once again, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Till the next time, Shalom.